Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. PayPal, stablecoin, what you don't know, you're going to want to know. And we're going to give it to you today. And Ripple expanding into the carbon markets. We're going to take a deeper look at what that looks like. And how about a run on XRP? How about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on YouTube and Twitter for exclusive content at the top of the screen. $1.21 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.6%, 29,300 plus for Bitcoin, 1,800 plus for Ethereum. We see Tether market cap right now at 83.4 billion plus, watching it close, 62 cents for XRP, falling like a manhole cover from the sky. Actually, it's up 0.5% in the 24 hours, but we're still off by more than 9% on the 7-day. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Let me tell you why very quickly. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. We're all individuals. You got to make up your own mind. But I'm just sharing with you, until we see use case utility driving price, I'm not concerned at least. That's where I'm at right now. And I tell you what I am concerned about. It's all these amazing opportunities on link2.com. Axiom Space, the first commercial space station on its way. Artificial intelligence H2O AI is back on the board. And let me tell you what happens to that. It sells out real quick. You might want to get a hold of that one. Ripple, PolySign, and then we got Uphold, Circle, Chainalysis. Glint is on here. Does it get any better? It does not, because this is the best place in the world to get private equity right here. Don't mess around. It doesn't last long. You got to be an accredited investor. Click the link for link2.com and get yourself in there as soon as you can. Well, okay. Not everything we look at today is going to make you happy. This is Mike Novogratz, one of the first investors in an unregistered ICO called Ethereum. And he's talking to David Rubenstein here. And I want you to hear what he talks about.
Now, Coinbase is one of the best known companies in the crypto industry. It makes markets for people that want to trade in crypto. But the SEC has recently taken action against Coinbase and argued that it's doing things that are illegal. What is your view on that?
Listen, I think Brian Armstrong is brave, and it's an interesting strategy to fight this in public. He's like, this is unfair. And what he's saying, in essence, what I just said, the rules weren't clear. The approach from the SEC to regulate through enforcement, to really thwart our industry, which feels like it's come from Elizabeth Warren and Sherrod Brown and maybe Lael Brainerd and a few people. We called it Choke Point 2.0 operation. Seems obvious and is just un-American. And it feels like the crypto community is tough and resilient. One of the things I learned is these communities don't go away. They believe, I mean, I have a tattoo of Bitcoin.
And a tattoo of Luna, which was absolutely a rug pull. And nonetheless, what David Rubenstein should have asked him, or Stein, I'm not sure how to say it, but should have asked Novogratz was, are you concerned you have broken securities laws by investing in the first ever unregistered ICO known as Ethereum? That's what he should have asked him, but he didn't. Missed opportunity there, David. But this one always gets me right here. Watch Joseph Lubin's failed attempt at grandstanding on Brad Garlinghouse as Brad Garlinghouse quickly turns around and calls Joseph Lubin out to the carpet about the lack of transparency for Ethereum. And then Joseph Lubin is just lost for words. He has nothing. This is what happens when the children are allowed to sit with the adults, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen.
People talk about the XRP ledger being centralized, I think, because they want to paint it that way. The XRP ledger is more decentralized than mining-based solutions because of the nature of proof of work and the centralization of proof of work mining that's happened, particularly in China.
Joe, you look like you want to say something. Let me jump in there just because Amanda's going to be happy if we have a little bit of controversy. So XRP is a value token and it trades in an open market. If the CFTC noticed that you owned 60% of the silver supply, how comfortable would they be?
I won't speak for the CFTC. We have in escrow 55% of all the XRP that we own. We can't sell it. We can't do anything with it. So, we actually own about 13%.
But you do sell it
float of
regularly,
XRP.
right? Don't you
We're
sell it
very
into the market?
transparent about that. How much do you sell?
When
Transparency and maturity in this market
necessary.
is critical.
Sure.
And I think, look, I'm talking about transparency because I think for the whole industry to mature, we need to be transparent in the industry. Ripple, I think, has tried to lead by example with that. And I think there's other ecosystems that I have no idea what's going on in those ecosystems. And I don't.
Including Ethereum, because Joseph Lubin taught everybody how to be a disguised whale and use multiple fake identities to make it look like it was a more decentralized investment in the network than it actually was. Oh, Joe. And then there's more evidence right here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Empower Oversight and everything that they do. It is remarkable. Here is some of the documents they got from the recent FOIA request. The document dump is in, and here it is. I want you to just see this. It'll make you sick too. Oh, brother. This is John Zimmerman talking about Joseph Lubin here. Joseph Lubin. Hi, Bill. Happy to get on a call. Would you prefer that I be alone on the call, or can I loop in members of our internal legal team who have been in discussions with you and your colleagues? John, can you please facilitate based on Bill's response? This is all leading up to the infamous Hinman speech here. Thanks, Joe. Moving you to BCC. Hi, Bill. And then all of this going on. You see what's going on here, right? This is all happening here. Well, let me tell you what it all really leans to be perfectly honest with you here, because this is what we're talking about. While Bill Hinman is kissing Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin's asses to meet with them to give them a free pass, Ripple is and was getting the shaft from the SEC for coming in to see them and being transparent. Let's play a little game called What Does This Look Like to You? I think it looks like collusion, market manipulation, aiding and abetting, and I want to hear your turn too. And meanwhile, PayPal launched its new stablecoin, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, but did you know a little fun fact about this stablecoin? Looks like PayPal stablecoin can be frozen at any time that they choose. Thank goodness for XRP. Not necessarily completely unexpected, but you have to know these things if you're going to use them. I have a PayPal account too. I'm going to want to know. John Deaton comes in here. He said, if I had told you XRP would get regulatory clarity but not hit $1, many wouldn't have believed it. Likewise, if I had told you PayPal would issue a stable coin on Ethereum, but Ethereum wouldn't increase at all, many wouldn't have believed it. Like it or not, Bitcoin drives this market, in my opinion. He's absolutely right, and I say true story. Until use case utility is the price driver in this market, as I said in the opener of this video, Bitcoin has dominance over the crypto market. Enjoy the view. Take plenty of pictures, Bitcoin maxis. It won't last forever. Then we see this, UK bank First Direct, and I think we need to start watching out for this all around the world, certainly here in the United States. This is an attempt to put a collar on your ability to invest in the crypto space. The UK bank First Direct is limiting the amount customers can send to crypto exchanges to £2,500 for a single transaction and £10,000 over a 30-day period. This is how they actually slow you down if you're not an accredited investor, right? I mean, it's disgusting. But all of us can go to a casino and lose your entire life savings without even having any recourse at all. Yes, if that's the case for casinos, then it should be the case for my investing. Let me make the decisions. I tell you, one of the differences between me, the government, and certainly a lot of other influencers in this space, I do know that you're smart. It feels so condescending from the banking system and regulators that apparently we're so damn dumb if we don't make a certain amount of money. I know a lot of dumb rich people. Ripple takes another big step into carbon markets with Centigrade. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I do want to go a little further here. And there is a great comment here from Chris Larson. Says the voluntary carbon market is key component to fighting devastating climate change, but has been long overdue for an upgrade. Congratulations to Centigrade Earth on today's launch. Now, what I wanted to show you was obviously, here's the article, but Ratha did a great thread piece here, and I just want to run through it very quickly if I could. So we know that they did the buy-in on Centigrade, right? And we know that the U.S. Department of Energy is also involved in that. Start by noting they mentioned derivatives in the announcement, and then recall Ripple just announced joining ISDA, which is the International Swaps and Derivatives Association. So you're tying in the ability to settle the carbon market derivatives too, right? That's the connection there. And then we know this. Next, remember Zange. Yeah, remember Zange.com, working with the United Nations, built on the XRP ledger. Yeah, how about that one? Then if it tells us anything, Centigrade is positioning itself as an open data platform, not the market itself. Perhaps then they might handle data from Zange. Something very cool to look out for. Similarly, in 2022, Ripple partnered with Thalo and to create a marketplace for carbon credits as well, along with Climate Collective. And wouldn't you know it, Centigrade website, Thalo is listed receiving Centigrade. How about that? You can see it there. Right, there's Thalo. And then he goes here to, hold on, there's more on Centigrade's website. BC Biocarbon, is listed as a partner. BC Biocarbon and Ripple recently announced a 6.7 million CAD purchase of biochar carbon removal credits. Deeper still, BC Biocarbon has an agreement with Stream Carbon Credits with Invert, and remember, was one of the lead investors in Zange. And when Ripple invested as well, there's Invert there. So the point of all of this, and it goes on, Carbon Cure here and Ripple investment, $30 million here, right? And then you see, want more? Centigrade is also lists Undo as a partner. Undo captures carbon through ballast weathering. So look, the connection here isn't just Centigrade. The connection here is an entire carbon market that Ripple is obviously deeply invested. We know broadly they have invested $100 million into the carbon market sector. And this is just a series of connections that Ratha Kahneman is making here. Look, some people are into carbon markets. Some people are not a fan of it. I think we got to be careful that it doesn't turn into social credit scores and things of that nature. But it's certainly, something that we need to be aware of because Ripple is making huge, deep investments into this space. It is not going away. If anything, it is about to be developed beyond our wildest means or dreams. Now, I want to give you this video right here. I put together a compilation. Ripple joins ISDA, International Swaps and Derivatives Association, over $1 quadrillion. Deep connection to Ripple and ISDA you're about to see. Will there be a run on RippleXRP? Two world reserve currencies can exist at the same time, says David Schwartz. The world may prefer a currency no one controls. No boss is the best boss. If that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people get rich, I don't think we will see that. They will see that as a minus. Take a listen. Congratulations are in order to Ripple for joining ISDA, the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, bringing together over 1,000 institutions like BlackRock, Society General, JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, just to name a few. How big is it and what could happen from it? Take a look. Derivatives market, $1 quadrillion plus. Now look at this. First, check out the connection between Ripple and ISDA itself. Shout out to Cypress Demonacor. Take a listen.
Check this out real fast. We're going to head over to Rahul Advani. Released some groundbreaking information just a day ago. If you don't know who this gentleman is, he is the policy director at Ripple. You guys can see right there on his LinkedIn. But just a day ago, check out what he announced. Again, shout out to the CyberX research team. It's always nice when the past intersects with the present. I'm pleased to announce that Ripple has joined the ISDA, which is where he spent 5 years of his policy career at.
That is very interesting, isn't it? Now, what could all of this mean when we're looking at like Ripple and the ability for XRP and the ledger and the DEX to work in tandem to be able to settle and clear all of these derivatives? Take a look.
The question, and Brad, this is an honest question. Ripple is, one of your products is to distribute liquidity through the payments system. So the question is, could there be a run on Ripple? In other words, everybody wants your liquidity. Nobody wants to provide it because there is a scenario where people develop doubts for good reasons or bad about the system.
There can be two existing world reserve currencies to simultaneously exist.
I do, and I think that could happen. I think it's quite realistic that a lot of the world is just done with the dollar as their reserve currency. Like every nation would love for their currency to be the world reserve currency. That's helped the U.S., that's grown the U.S. economy, quote unquote, unfairly by leaps and bounds for decades. And every other country would be like, yeah, we'd like to have the world be the world's reserve currency. But the only countries that could possibly pull it off is the U.S. holding its position, maybe the EU, maybe Russia, maybe one or two others. But realistically, most countries know that if there's going to be a new world reserve currency that's a country's currency, it's not going to be them. And so they might actually prefer a currency that nobody can control to one that's controlled by their largest geopolitical rivals. And so that's like what I think is the biggest possible success scenario for digital assets. If these countries are like, okay, well, the US dollar can't hold on forever, but it's not going to be our currency because no one's going to want to repeat the US dollar scenario. Nobody but the EU wants the EU to replace the dollar, right? Nobody but Russia wants the ruble to replace the dollar. Nobody but China wants the yuan to replace the dollar. So maybe they could settle on a currency that nobody could control rather than one controlled by their most powerful geopolitical rival. So if you want a success scenario, that's the one that I think is the most likely.
But the more you get everybody to agree.
Well, I mean, they might agree if the alternative is that their geopolitical rivals force some new replacement for the dollar that's not, if they just replace, the old boss with a new boss. If the choice is no boss, if that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they're going to see that as too much of a minus.
That's good.
Brad, this is an honest question. Ripple is, one of your products is to distribute liquidity through the payments system. So the question is, could there be a run on Ripple?
Run on RippleXRP? Well, there absolutely could be. And I expect at some point there will be. Because if Ripple is successful with what they offer and the complemented use of the digital asset XRP, it will dawn on the financial world and soon the clearing and settlement world of derivatives that this product can serve them better than currency can today. Interestingly enough, when we think about this, I don't think anymore with the ruling that we've got from the judge that anybody in the financial world is going to turn around and say, hey, well, what about these cryptocurrency people that happen to hold this if we're going to get rich in the process? I think what David is acknowledging there from my interpretation is simply this. That is a recognition in that statement. Will anybody care if cryptocurrency holders get rich in the process? No, they won't. And it ultimately is an acknowledgement that the financial world will understand just how valuable the asset XRP will be. What we're waiting on now is the financial and banking world to figure out that this asset is their best option for liquidity. And you won't need to hold liquidity in anything else. That is where we're going. No boss is the best boss. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.